Hey guys, what's going on? Tyraku here, and I hope everyone is doing great. Now tonight on the stream, which ended a few hours ago, I stream every day 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern time, except for Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you want to stop by, feel free. Now, earlier on stream, I did do an account takeover for somebody, and we was trying to clear the Doom Tower, the Scarab King stage. Now, this particular person, I believe, has 2 level 60s, and then 1 6-star champion who's like level 50 something. Don't have very many masteries done, and had no destroy set whatsoever. So overall, we had a hard time doing it. We weren't able to complete the normal stage of the Scarab King. If he gets some of his masteries complete, I definitely think he can finish it. He's literally within just a hair of completing the stage. But jumping on his account made me realize that the video that I made a few days ago about the Scarab King may have been a little bit like my gala, I think, may have been a little too geared for a lot of people, possibly. Because I assumed that the destroy set was a little bit easier, a little bit more accessible. Maybe some people did, no problem. Obviously, the Doom Tower is for a little bit later game content, but I want to make this as accessible as possible in any way that I can. So I got 5 rares collected that I want to share with you guys, and I want to share just mostly how they're good against the Scarab King. These rares are good in general, and you definitely use them at other places of the game. Very solid. One of them being Valerie. I've really started liking her a lot, and I've mentioned her in a few other videos. But I want to touch on these rares when it pertains specifically to the Scarab King. Now, let's start off with first. I don't want this video to be super long. I want it to be straight to the point, so let's jump in. And with Valerie, I just want to go over her. She has 2 abilities that are very, very good against the Scarab King, and honestly in the Doom Tower in general. She has this shield buff, very, very good. Places it based on the value of the shield depends on this champion's level. For the Scarab King, you really just need the shield buff applied. You don't necessarily need a huge shield if you're bringing turn meter reduction champions. If you have no turn meter reduction champions, you will need this book because you do want as big of shield as possible. This is specifically, like I said, for the Scarab King. This ability, the Energizing Presence, it increases the duration of all your buffs and decreases all the duration of your debuffs. So for the Nether Spider, this comes in good use. You definitely use it against the poisons when the Nether Spider applies those. Increases the duration of your buffs, just extends those shields, helps out a ton. Books down to a 3-turn, very helpful. I love using Valerie, and honestly, I neglected her for a long time. Can be used in the all rare rooms, the all rare secret rooms, as well as the Bannerlord secret room. So very solid champion for you to invest in. The next champion I want to talk about is Metal Shaper, and he really sticks out because he has a low cooldown on his shield. That being, when you get him fully booked, 2-turn cooldown, 2-turn shield. That's amazing. I mean, just place the shield, 2 turns, have him going faster than anybody else on your team, and he will literally keep the shield up the entire time. Bring a good turn meter reduction champion, and you're solid. You're set against the Scarab King. Just have him going maybe 200 speed. Just try to push it as high as you possibly can. Now, he is Spirit Affinity, so for the time being, against the Scarab King, he's actually Strong Affinity, which means Scarab King's going to have weak hits against Metal Shaper, meaning you're not going to get his debuffs placed on you as much, and overall, Metal Shaper is just going to be able to survive much, much longer against the Scarab King because he is Strong Affinity. Next, so that gives a summary of Metal Shaper. He has a good buff here, removes all debuffs, very solid, and a very solid A1. Basic, but very solid. You definitely want to get this book though. Rare books, not super difficult to get. So overall, very solid champion. Definitely worth investing in if you're looking for a good Faction Wars champion as well as a Scarab King champion. Next is Draconis. Now, I don't want to talk too much about Void rares. I know a lot of people don't necessarily have these, but I mean, they are rares, and whenever you pull Void Shards, you're going to get some rares. So hopefully, if you have Draconis, hopefully you can either pull him out of your vault if you're not using him already, or see a use actually for him now. Very solid champion. Attacks one enemy, heals the ally with the lowest HP by 7.5%. Very good for sustainability. I mean, if you're bringing him alongside somebody like a counterattack champion who can apply counterattacks to him, this is just going to be some extra heals. Very solid. His ability 2, this is where the shield, this is what we're focused on him. So 4 turns, books down to 3 turns, places a shield buff equal to 15% of this champion's max HP for 2 turns. And when it's booked down to 3 turns, basically there's just going to be 1 turn in between. If you're bringing somebody like Valerie alongside Draconis, if you remember, she can extend the duration of buffs, which means Draconis and Valerie will literally keep shields up the entire time without a problem whatsoever. So bring those 2 champions, no issue. This removes all debuffs from an ally. Nothing super crazy, but it brings some little extra utility books down to 4 turns. If this was removed from all allies, it would be crazy. It's removed from one ally, but hey, you get some heals from it as well, so not going to complain about that. Now, next champion. So far we've been talking specifically about shield champions. So now I want to talk about a damage champion. Now, later on in this video, I'm going to go over a good turn meter reduction champion as a bonus. It's going to be a 6th champion, so definitely stay tuned for that. Now, I want to show you the damage champion who you can throw in a destroy set. Very good champion. That is Soulbound Bowyer. Like I mentioned with Metal Shaper, Soulbound Bowyer is also strong affinity against the Scarab King. Scarab King's Force, and Soulbound Bowyer is Spirit, which means the Scarab King's going to do less damage against Soulbound and apply less debuffs because he's going to get weak hits very often. Soulbound also comes with a good kit. Every one of her abilities has a built-in 25% chance to inflict a crit. If you put her as the leader, that's an additional 12%, which means you only need to build her with 63% crit rate in order for her to have 100% total crit rate if you're using her as a leader. This aura is used in all battles. You definitely want to use her as a leader if possible. The gear requirements aren't anything crazy. This means you can now equip her with a destroy set, put some good crit rate gloves on her, get her to 63% crit rate, and then her abilities and everything will fill out the rest of that crit rate. You'll have her hitting 100% crit, use the rest for crit damage. That destroy set will reduce the enemy max HP. She's strong affinity, so she won't be having any issue with weak hits, and then the Scarab King should be much less of an issue for you. Now, she does require quite a bit of books, so if you're going to do that, be prepared to invest quite a bit. I do think this is a very solid ability to book out. It takes, 8 books though, so it could be a little difficult to get done, but this is a fully depleting turn meter ability. A 75% chance of fully depleting the target's turn meter. Very good. It's very good even without being booked. I mean, 75% chance is amazing, so excellent champion, top tier champion without a doubt for the Scarab King. Next champion I want to go over is another Sacred Order champion, and this is Mother Superior. Yet another strong affinity champion. Don't have to worry about weak hits. The Scarab King is going to be doing weak hits to you. She's going to take less damage. Overall, very solid because of being strong affinity. Another shield champion, like I mentioned, she has a few more conditions on her shield, so definitely take some time and read over these conditions. Make sure you understand them. But she brings a little extra support. Heals an ally by 30% of this champion's max HP. So this is a champion you do want to stack a lot of HP on because it's going to be based off of her max HP, unlike Valerie and Metal Shaper. So she also brings this other shield. So she has 2 abilities that can possibly shield your whole team. So book down to a 4-turn, book down to a 3-turn cooldown. Very good champion, especially when it comes to keeping that shield up for the Scarab King. Also brings good utility in other areas, especially arena, especially for like low players who don't have a speed aura champion. She could definitely fill that spot. Throw her in as a speed aura if you don't have high Cocoon yet or whatever it may be. You can definitely fill that role, or just have her as the lead aura in the Doom Tower, Scarab King, or wherever else you may be. There's not a ton of champions with increase or auras for all battles, especially not a lot of rares. So whenever you can find one, definitely utilize them. Like I said, I really like Soulbound Bowyer though. Her aura, very, very helpful, especially with her whole kit. It just ties it all together very well. Now, I said I was going to give a bonus champion, and let me go ahead and show you who that is. That is an uncommon champion, very easy to get, except for when you're actually looking for him like I am. That is Armiger. Armiger is probably one of the most consistent turn meter reduction champions in the game. You'll use him a lot on the Scarab King, in my opinion. He's strong affinity there. Also use him a lot against the Spider, and a lot of the dungeons in general. The Spider, you can use him against the Fire Knight. Works excellent. So he has a decreased turn meter by 30% if this attack is critical. You do need accuracy to land that. So you're going to want to shoot for like say 200 speed, maybe 200 accuracy, and then obviously 100% crit rate to get him really pushing his utility as far as turn meter reduction. Now, if you want to push him into like doing a lot of damage, he does bring damage based on enemy max HP, which is huge. He is the only uncommon champion to do this. There's only but like 4 or 5 champions in the entire game who do damage based on enemy max HP, so a champion like this, very helpful. Also brings a block revive, which is good against the Frost Spider, so if you want to go against him, very helpful. Armiger is definitely a champion who's worth investing in. You'll use him in many places other than the Scarab King. There we go, guys. Just a little quick recap. Valerie, Metal Shaper, Draconis, and Mother Superior, all fantastic shield champions. If you have any of those, I definitely recommend building them. Obviously, don't build them all. You don't need that many shields. be realistic. We don't need all the shields in the world. One or two of those by themselves work amazing. Soulbound Bowyer, if you're looking for somebody to do a lot of damage, definitely invest in Soulbound Bowyer. Obviously, if you don't have her, that's not going to work, but she is a rare champion, so hopefully you do have her. And you only got to build her out with like 63% crit rate if you're using her as the leader. Throw her in a destroy set, Scarab King becomes much easier. So hopefully, guys, that helps you out. Let me know if you want to see some more rares that can help you out in other stages of the Doom Tower. I want to stay away from void rares, like I said. Obviously, cold hearts, bellowers, they're amazing everywhere, but I want to talk about specific utility for the specific Doom Tower boss. So let me know down below if this helped you out at all, if this opened your eyes to maybe some new rares you didn't think of or haven't heard of. Either way, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching until the end of the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.